I welcome you to discuss the overview of Module 1 of Basic Electrical Engineering subject, that is DC Circuits and AC Fundamentals. The following contents are discussed in this video, that is Introduction to DC Circuits, Ohm's Law, Kirchhoff's Law, Resistance and Series and Parallel Circuits, then Introduction to AC Circuits, and some terms related to alternating quantity. First, let us discuss the introduction to DC circuits. What is meant by an electrical circuit? Electrical circuit is an interconnection of various elements such as current sources or voltage sources, resistors, inductors or capacitors. And these circuit elements may be connected in series or in parallel. You can see a series electrical circuit which contains a voltage source and the three circuit elements, that is a resistor, inductor and capacitor, are connected in series. This is called a series electrical circuit. Similarly, you can see the parallel electrical circuit. There is a current source and resistor, inductor and capacitor. All the three elements are connected in parallel. Sometimes there will be a combination of a series and parallel connection. So this will be the form of an electrical circuit. Now, these elements are classified into two types, that is active elements and passive elements. All the active elements are energy sources such as voltage source and current sources. So you can see here, these are the active elements. So this is the voltage source and this is the current source. Voltage source is represented by the polarity plus and minus, which represents the DC source, which is denoted as V, and the current source is represented by arrow mark, which indicates the direction of the flow of current, and it is indicated by I. Similarly, let us look into the passive elements. The passive elements are resistor. So this is how a general resistor looks, and this is the symbol of the resistor. Inductor. So this is the practical inductor, and this is the symbol of the inductor, and a capacitor. So this is how your capacitor looks, and this is the symbol of the capacitor. So generally, these are the basic elements in a electrical circuit, that is active elements and passive elements. Once again, active elements are all the energy sources such as voltage source and current source. Passive elements are all the circuit elements, that is resistors, inductors and capacitors. Next, coming to Ohm's law. What does Ohm's law state? Ohm's law states that the current in the conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference across the two ends, provided the temperature and the physical parameters of the conductor remains constant. Therefore, we can express this Ohm's law mathematically as I proportional to V, which can be written as I is equal to V by R, where R is the proportionality constant. Similarly, we can write it as V is equal to IR, where V is the potential difference between the ends of the two ends of the conductor, I is the current flowing through the conductor, and R is the proportionality constant, which we call it as resistance. Next, coming to the Kirchhoff laws. We have two types of laws stated by Kirchhoff. So the first one is called Kirchhoff's current law. The Kirchhoff's current law states that the algebraic sum of all the currents at the junction is equal to 0. Or we can also say as sum of incoming currents at a junction is equal to the sum of outgoing currents from the junction. So this is called as Kirchhoff's current law. So this Kirchhoff's current law is mainly based on law of conservation of charge. The next law proposed by Kirchhoff is Kirchhoff's voltage law, which can be simply written as KVL. So the Kirchhoff voltage law states that In any closed circuit or mesh, the algebraic sum of products of currents and resistances, that is voltage drops, plus the algebraic sum of all the EMFs in that circuit is 0. So this Kirchhoff voltage law based on the law of conservation of energy. Next, let us look into resistance in series and parallel. When the same current passes through all the circuit elements and the voltage gets divided across each circuit element, then we call the circuit as a series circuit. You can see here. So we have taken, now we are discussing with the DC circuits. The DC circuits, the circuit elements are only resistors. So I have taken 3 resistors and connected in series and applied to a DC supply. Now the current flows. So in a series circuit, the same current flows through all the 3 resistors, whereas the applied voltage gets divided across the resistors based on their resistance value. So this is how we can define a series circuit. Similarly, a parallel circuit, a circuit in which all the circuit elements are connected in parallel. So in a parallel circuit, the total current gets divided among the circuit elements, whereas the applied voltage or the voltage across all the parallel circuit elements will be same. So this is how the parallel circuit looks. All the 3 resistors are connected in parallel. You can see here the different current flows through the 3 resistors. The amount of current flowing through the resistors depends on the value of the resistance. Usually, the current is inversely proportional to the value of resistance. If the resistance is more, the current flowing through the resistor will be less. If the resistance value is less, the current flowing through the resistor will be more. So based on the values of resistor, the current passes through the resistors. Whereas the voltage across all these resistors which are connected in parallel will be same. So this is how we can explain the parallel circuit. Now, let us come to the introduction of AC circuit. So AC circuit in the sense, the circuit in which alternating current flows is called AC circuit. So alternating current or alternating quantity means either it can be voltage or current which changes its magnitude and direction periodically. So this is how we represent a AC quantity. So here I am showing you the alternating current wave. Usually we use sinusoidal waveform to represent the alternating quantities. Alternating quantities in the sense it can be an alternating current or alternating voltage. Now let us see how the generation of sinusoidal voltage is happened. See, alternating voltage may be generated by 2 ways, either by rotating a coil in a magnetic field or by rotating a magnetic field with a stationary coil. So by using any one of these methods, we can generate a sinusoidal AC voltage. Now, let us discuss the important terms related to the alternating quantity. So these are all the different terms we will be discussing about the alternating quantity. That is instantaneous value, waveform, cycle, time period, frequency, amplitude, peak to peak value, average value and RMS value. If you see here, I have just shown a simple sinusoidal wave. So what is meant by instantaneous value? The value of an alternating quantity at any instant, at any particular instant is called as instantaneous value. What is a waveform? If you represent any alternating quantity by taking time on x-axis and amplitude on y-axis, then such representation is called as waveform representation. Now, whichever I am showing you this sinusoidal wave, So this form of representation is known as waveform representation. Next, coming to cycle. So what is meant by a cycle? So one positive wave and one negative half wave together completes one cycle. So one cycle of a sinusoidal wave contains a positive half cycle and a negative half cycle. Next, coming to the time period, the time taken by the alternating quantity to complete one cycle. You can see here. So from this time, so from here, from this point, the alternating quantity has started and it has reached its maximum value and again reduced to zero and again increased its value in the opposite direction and has become zero. So this complete time taken by the alternating quantity is known as time period. Next is frequency. Frequency is reciprocal of time period. Number of cycles per second is called frequency. Next, amplitude. Amplitude, it is the maximum value attained by the alternating quantity is called amplitude. So in this case, in this wave, so this is the peak value. Okay, so from 0 to this peak value is called as amplitude. Next, peak to peak value. Peak to peak value will be the maximum value between the positive half cycle and the negative half cycle. So this is the peak value for the positive half cycle and this is the peak value for the negative half cycle. So the amplitude or the value from here to here is called as peak to peak value. Next, average value. Average value of an alternating quantity is, there is a derivation regarding to this average value. It is nothing but peak value into 0.637 times is called, is your average value. Next, RMS value. So your RMS value, so this will be the RMS value where it is 0.707 times of your peak value. So these are all the important terms related to the alternating quantity. So these are all the things we are going to discuss in the module 1 in detail. Thank you.